Hello guys, welcome to Java JSM, and in this video we can talk about pattern in DSA. So pattern is very important for understanding in logical coding. Okay, for example, if you talk about this slide, so in this slide I have mentioned if you are going with the patterns in the Java patterns, if you go and if you see here, like Java patterns are enhance the coding skills. Okay, the Java patterns are enhance the coding skills, logic and looping concept also. Okay, it mostly ask in the Java interview to check the logic and thinking of the programmer. So for example, you are a good in the DSA, you are good in the any specific language, but how can I judge like you are good in that or not? How can I validate you? So for that, the pattern will come inside the picture, and pattern will give you a clear cut example. You know the basic and whatever the if else condition, for loop, whatever in the depth or not. With the help of the pattern only we can identify. Okay, so if you see here, we can print a Java programs. Okay, different designs. To learn the patterns of the program must have a deep knowledge, because if you don't have a deep knowledge on the for loop, such as a for loop, do loop, while loop and if else condition, in this section we will not learn how to print a Java or whatever the star pattern. Because if you know if else, loop, enhance for loop, inner for loop, everything, then only you are capable to do the pattern programming. Otherwise you are not able to do. Definitely somehow you have to understood the matrix also, 2D matrix, because pattern is nothing but it's a 2D matrix, all about the 2D matrix. Whatever we are going to print, it's look like that. Okay, only a star. So it's a 2D figure, it's not a 1D figure, it's look like a 2D figure. So these are called a star. So if you talk about the 2D star, so this is one a square. So a square is nothing but 2D. So you have to know about the 2D array, and that is very important things also. Okay, we have a classified in the Java programs into the 3 category. For example, a star pattern. So if you go into the interview, maybe the service based company or maybe the some big level company also, might be the chance they will ask the star patterns. Okay, somehow they will ask the number pattern also, somehow they will ask with the character pattern also, but you have to prepare for all, and that is your work as a developer. You have to know about it. Okay, so before moving to the any other patterns or programs, let us see whatever you have a logics, whatever the logics you have thinking in your minds. For example, someone given you to design this pattern. For example, this is the one problems I have given to you, and I told you to design this. What you can do, whenever you thinking any logics or design patterns of the programs, first draw the patterns. This line is very important. First draw the pattern in the blocks. Blocks means like that, and then show an image. The figure present the clear on the pattern or not. Okay, for example, I told you just draw this line, this only, don't draw anything else. Okay, so what you have to do, you don't want to draw this one, just draw this one. So you have to think, you have to clear in the pictures like how it will working. Okay, let's understand with the diagrams, like how we can say like, okay, how it will look like. So for example, this is the patterns I have given to you. Okay, having a star, having a stars, and you have to print this as star. Okay, this is the one type of the stars. Okay, and you have to print this a star. How you can think, like how you can iterate the for loop. It's a sure, like whenever you are writing any of the coding problems or programs, whatever, it will take 2 loop. sure, right? It will take two loop, one for row. So this is the row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4. So this is nothing but row, you can say this is row. But printing these things, 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, this is nothing but column. Okay, so that's why we are saying the first loop which we are denoting, that is called a I for loop, and this is the j loop. Okay, so one time if it is true, you have to print this 1 star. If two time is true, if it is coming to 2, you have to print 2 star. Okay, so internal for loop is nothing but column. Okay, and first for loop is nothing but row. Okay, understood? So based on this figure only, you have to think and you have to develop your idea, and you have to do it. For example, let us go to the our Eclipse, and I'm trying to draw one pictures. Okay, for examples, here is the something. No, I don't want anything. I want to print one loop called like that. I want to print. So let me go. For example, I want to print this figure, pattern number 1, and this is the pattern someone assigned to me to print it. Okay, and 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and these patterns I have to print. What I have to do, what is the my rules, what is my regulations, and how can I approach it? Okay, so I hope you already know all those concepts, but still I'm going to just recall you. Okay, for example, make sure understand shape of pattern. Shape of pattern means like how many row and how many columns. So how many row are there? So if I talk about the row, okay, if I talk about the row or column, so I can definitely say that, okay, this is the row, this is the column, not row. It's a column, it's a column, but this one, this one, this one, this one, we can denote as a row. Clear? So this entire things will consider as a column, and this things is considered as a row. Okay, so for example, you have to understand the shape, like how the flow will going. So what they are doing is, first time in the first row they are printing 1 2 3 4 5 star. Okay, so this is the row and this is the column. In the second iterations, they are printing again 5. So this is the third, okay, 5, and fourth also 5. So this one we have to increment, okay, and this should be a constant. Okay, so this one will be increment and this should be a constant, and you have to print the pattern. So what we can do? Simple. We have to take, and always make sure whenever you are writing any pattern, it will take 2 loop or more than 2 loop. It will not take only 1 loop, because with the 1 loop you are not able to print it exactly. With the 2 loop only you can able to print, because it's a 2-dimensional figure. Whatever you see in the star pattern or number pattern or character pattern, it will take at least 2 loop, and the time complexity is at least order of n square. It will not take less than that. Okay, let's start now. So for example, what I have to do is, I have to increment the column. Column means row. So this is the for, and int I equal to 0, I less than equal to how much? We have to go up to 5. So let me 5, because I have started with the 0, and I less than, not less than, I plus plus. Okay, so this will take care of row. If it is iterated for 0 means let me take 1. So if I iterate with the 1 and let's give the equal to here. So if you start with the 1, okay, so this is the first row. So how many you have to print? Okay, how many you have to print? So take inside the one more for loop, which is int j equal to 0 or j less than equal to not 0. It will also start with the 1. But if you think about the matrix, you can start with the 0, but don't give here equal to. That is the only difference things. Okay, and let's give a 5 and I plus plus, because we have to print up to 5. This one is also open, this one is also closed. What you have to do? S out. Inside S out, like println, what you have to do? Inside the println, just give the star and one space and again double quote and close. What it will do? If first one loop is true for 1 times, it will go inside this and it will print how many times? A star? 5 times. A star, a star, a star, a star, a star. Okay, it will print. It's a 5 times star, it will print. If it is 2, again I plus plus, and every time how it will print the star? I have not given here ln. I will give here ln, s out ln, okay, which is next line. We can say /n. So through that we can go to the next line. Let me explain you through the Eclipse so that you can understand in a better way. So let me go here and I have written one for loop, okay, and iterate over the index, and you can take from 1. Otherwise you can take with the 0 also, but whenever you are going to do work with the pattern, let's take 1, because it's not a matrix. If you're denoting a matrix, then you have to take with the 0, otherwise no need. You can do the pattern programming with the 1 also, that is not an issue. Okay, and here also you have to give equal to 5. Clear? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to write here s out with print. What we have to print? We have to print one star and a space. If you give the ln, so it will go to the next line every time, so I don't want. And once this loop is printed, it means if this loop is true for the first time, then this loop will iterate 5 times and it will print the star. Then after, what I want s out, next line. I want next line, so it will go to the next line. Again, what will happen? It will go and it will increment the I plus plus. It will check the condition is true. Again it will come back and it will print this up to 5 times again. So again 5 star will be printed like that. Okay, let me show you. Okay, let me show you guys. Okay, these patterns. Okay, if you see these patterns, so this is the first time, first iteration it will print. Again I have given the next ln, so it will go and it will print this line. Again it will go and it will print this line. Again it will go and it will print this line. Okay, like that it will print. So once it is print, but if you see here, I have given it say 5 times. So it will go up to 5, and this one also I have given the 5. So 5 square it will happen. Let me show you. So if you see, this is the pattern. Okay, this is the 5 star, this is the 5 star, this is the 5 star. But if you see, I have given the only 4 times this one. This is the 3 and this is the 2. So I don't want 5 times, so I want 4 times only. So just give the first loop as a 4 times only, so it will print only 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Only 4 times. So this requirement is done. And one more things I will suggest you, whatever the codings you are doing in your system, along with do the inside the any of the platforms where you are doing the coding. For example, I am going to prefer the coding ninja or lead code. Sometimes I will do the coding inside the coding ninja, sometimes in the lead code. So based on your choice, you can also take this and you can do your coding, because it's a very useful if you go for the interview, or if you selected for any interview, that time it will very help you. Okay, so do the practice on the online, and whatever the code you can perform, that is very fine. So this is the in forest. In forest means multiple forest he have, not only one forest. And the problem is, what they are saying is, Sam is making a forest visualizers, and an n-dimensional forest is represented by the pattern of the size n by n and filled with the star. So what we have to do is, we have to fill those n size n area with the star. For every value of n helps Sam to print the corresponding n-dimensional forest. So for example, if input n equal to 3, like that we have given inside the methods. So if input is 3, you have to print n by n square star. So 3 and 3 and 3 3 3. So 3 3 3. That's it, only you have to print, which is a square. If someone given 3, you can print like that. If someone given 4, you have to print like that. 4 4 4 4 4. Okay, so this is the one square we have to print with the help of the patterns. Let me maximize it. I hope you understood the problem. Let's talk about the solution. Okay, solution. Inside the solution, what they have given, they have given one n, and they have given one method called n forest. So whenever the people will pass n value, maybe the 3, maybe the 5, maybe the 100, whatever, what we have to do is, we have to print the pattern for that. We have to print the pattern for that. So definitely it will take 2 loops, because we have to print the stars. Okay, so we can start int j equal to 1 or 0, whatever you want. Okay, and j less than equal to n and j plus plus. Okay, this is the for loop, will cover the n, which is row, and this is the second for loop which I am going to write, int j equal to what, again 1. Okay, and it will also go up to the n. Okay, and j plus plus. And what I am going to do is, I am going to write s out. I think it will not suggest me, so I have to write everything. System dot out dot println. And this link, whatever the coding ninja link we have, I will give you inside the description, so don't worry about it. Okay, and what we have to do is, we have to give the stars. And if you see the problems, if you give just a star, and if you leave it, and if you remove the ln, that is fine. Again you have to copy this one line, otherwise you can write here also. Okay, so system dot out dot print, and this is called println. Okay, for the next line I have given. Okay, this is the code we have to write basically. Okay, and let me show you guys, because so many beginners are confused if they have said the code. Because if you see here, they have given the space. If I not give the space, and if I try to submit it, for example, this is the code we have, and I have prepared very well, and I have written each and everything. But make sure, if I try to run it, if you see what is the output. Okay, if you see what is the output is compilation fail with the semicolon. Where is the semicolon I have missed? Here. Okay, sometimes it will suggest also. Once I given the semicolons and I will start it, it's saying again compilation fail, variable j is already decreased. Okay, so this is not a j, this is the I. Okay, this is the I and this is the j. Okay, clear? Sometimes I'm just showing you with the error, so that you can able to solve the error with the see the code. If you see lots of the error we got, only one test case is pass, other test cases fail. So in that case, what we can do? Okay, because we have not fulfilled the whatever the output he is expecting, right? Whatever they are expecting the output, we are not able to fulfill. Because of that, we are getting the error. So what we have to do is we have to give the space in every star between a star we don't want to give. You have to give a star space, a star space. So just give one space here. Once you give the space, and if you try to run it again, it will pass. Okay, if you see, all those test case is passed now, because we have missed the star, and the star we don't want to miss. Okay, I hope you understood, guys. So this is the stars we have missed, and whenever you are doing coding, it will show you like what is the issue, in which line number also, and what is the problems you are facing. Okay, based on that, you have to get the clarity, and you have to print your star. Okay, let me submit this code. So once I submit this code, you can able to see here, hey championships, and I got 40 by 40 percentage. Okay, 1 day tracks. Okay, and the time efficiency is also very good, very nice. Okay, so I hope you understood what I'm trying to say, and how you have to start the coding is like, you can go with the Coding Ninja or Lead Code or Code Force also. There is lots of the platform, but only pray for one or two, don't pray for all, and try to focus and try to solve all types of the problems. Okay, so right now I'm going with the stars, and this coding link I will paste inside our code. Okay, so you can check it out. Okay, let's talk about the second problem. So first problems we have already discussed, and I hope you understood, and let's talk about the second problem. In the second problem, if you see what is the pattern and what is the shape and how we can arrange it. So the first pattern, whatever you have displayed, so now we don't want to display all, we have to display like that. Okay, it means you have to write some if else condition to escape some of the part. Okay, because if you see here, the pattern is like, first time 1 star, second time 2 star, third time 3 star, fourth time 4 stars, fifth time 5 stars. Okay, this is the pattern. So this is the row, this is the row, so it will run up to 5 times, that is correct. So we can use one for loop and you can iterate it, but the inner loop, it will not run up to 5 times. It will run, if it is one row, it will run 1 times. If it is second row, it will run 2 times. If it is third row, it will run 3 times. If it is fourth row, it will run 4 times. If it is fifth row, it will run 5 times. That is the patterns we have to think in your minds and as a logic also. Okay, so if it is row 1, print 1 star. If it is 2, print 2 star. If it is 3, print 3 star. So what we can do, how we can write a logic for that? Let's go. Okay, let's go to our Eclipse, and here we have written some of the code already. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's copy and create one method called pattern1. Pattern1 open close, and here I will give void. Okay, and let me give public static also, and inside this I will give it. So this is the pattern1 which we have already discussed. Let me copy the same code. Okay, just copy. Okay, just copy. I'm saying, I'm not saying to paste it. So this is pattern1 which we have copied. Again we'll copy this. Again I will paste it here. Okay, and I will change the name of the pattern to. Okay, and this is the pattern 2, And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call here pattern 1 or pattern 2. So right now we have to call the pattern 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 2. Okay, so once I call this pattern, it will execute. And what we have to do, we have to print first time 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 times it will go. First loop will go to the 5 times. So I will start with the 1 and it will go up to 5 times. So let me give 5 and I plus plus, correct. But the problem is the first row it will print first star, second row it will start 2 star, 3 star, 4 star. So those what we can do is in the inner loop we have to iterate and print only and only based on the above first row. So I can give here I. What I can give here I. Why I? Because if I give here I, what will happen is I, if it is 1, it will go j equal to 1 and j equal to I, which is 1 again. So it will print first time. Okay, it will not execute more than 1 times. If I is 2, it will execute 2 times this loop. If I is 3, it will execute 3 times. If it is I is 4, it will execute 4 times. Let me do it. So if I run this code, okay, you can see here. And also we have given the space here, so it will manage it. And we have given the next line also, so it will give the next line. So first time what? 1, second time 2, third time 3, fourth time 4, fifth time 5th. If you don't want any space, you can ignore it. Okay, and you can run it again. You can see the pattern. Correct. So this is the way to write a code. So I hope you are little bit try to understand what are the patterns and how it will working. Okay, so whenever I am saying like this is the patterns and how these are patterns are working, so basically I am using the for loop for row, which is outer for loop, and if I use any for loop inside this, that is called inner for loop. So outer for loop and inner for loop. So inner for loop is dependent on outer for loop. Based on that condition, we are iterating the inner and we are printing the data. Okay, let's talk about what is the time complexity of this code. So here we have reused the 1, right, 1 loop, and inside this having also 1 loop, and for 1 it will printing the 1. If it is 2, it will printing the 2 times. If it is 3, it is printing the 3 times. So we can say the time complexity is, this program is also order of n square, we can consider. Okay, so you can directly say that the time complexity is order of n square. This one also we can say time city is order of n square, and the space complexity is order of 0 because we have not taken any extra space. Correct. Here also time complexity is order of n square, and we have not taken any extra space. Okay, so we can say space complexity is order of 0. Okay, this is clear. I hope it's clear. Okay, let's do the code on the online. We have a online compiler which is Coding Ninja. So in the Coding Ninja we can do our code here. I will keep this link into the video description so you can take it further. Okay, so here we have saying like n by 2 forest. So previous question is like forest, and this is the n by 2 forest. Let's see the problem. Same is making a forest visualization, and n dimensional of the forest is represented by the pattern of the size n by n and fill with the star, and n by 2 dimension forest is represented by the lower triangle means this triangles, which is this side. Okay, and this is the pattern filled with the everything, and value of n helps m to the print the corresponding n by 2 dimensional. Okay, so if you see here, okay, let me go back. If you see here, so this pattern we are saying like lower triangle, lower triangle, and this part we can say it's a upper triangle, okay. I hope it's clear. Okay, let me go to the website, and what we can do is we have to print those sides. So what we can do, same code you have to write here, just remove the comment here and write for loop. Let me do this. So for example, we have already code, so this is the codes we have. Okay, I can go and copy this code, okay, and I will come back and I will paste my code here. Okay, and once I pasted, let me run and let me show you what is the error and what is the syntax error. Okay, so blindly I have pasted the code, but it's not running out. What is the issue? So issue is, if you see here, what I have done is I have given n equal to 5, but we have to take this n. Okay, this n, not directly 5. So I will take n, and this one is I, that is fine, and I plus plus, and let me run one more times. Okay, sometimes it will give in try and run and try to understand. Again he want a space, I have not given the space, so make sure you have to make it a space, and then again run it. Your code is successfully done and you can finally submit it. Okay, once you submit it, you can get some points, and this is the running times, like 808 milliseconds it's taken to perform the actions on that. Okay, so that is the things you have to understood, like how we have to do. So if you see the problems again, so problem is saying like a space, but in our code there is no space, so because of that we have gotten the issue. Okay, and also make sure they will give the n, which is input here, which is n. You don't want to take your own input and you have to do it. Okay, so that is the things you have to make sure. If you do anything blindly, then your code will not run. Sometimes what happens is, like, what if the peoples who are the beginners, who are not try to do the codes on the online platforms, and if some of the coding test or coding round will happen, they are not able to crack it also. So because of that I decided to do the online code also, so that you guys can understood better way and you can do your own coding platforms and you can enjoy it a lot. Okay, let's just start with the third problems. Okay, so this is the third problems we are going to discuss. So here if you see what is the pattern is, so first time we have to print 1. Okay, if it is first row and first column. Okay, if you see here we have to print in the second row 1 or 2. So in the first row, first column, print 1, second row or first or second column you have to print, so you have to print 2 times. If third row, 3, if fourth row, 4, if fifth row, fifth we have to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So whatever the internal loop we have, so internal loop will run based on the parent loop, okay, which is running for the row. So what we can do is, for example, we have a int j equal to 0 or j less than equal to 5 or j plus plus, for example. Okay, and inside this having a one more loop. So this loop, for example, int I, so it will run based on this j, so we can set j, okay, and j less than what, 5, okay, and j plus plus, okay, open and close. So this one start with j, no, it will also start with the 0, but here we have to write j, okay, I less than j. Why I less than j? Because this is the internal loop, and if it is 1, print 1 times, if it is 2, print 2 times, if it is 3, print 3 times. So every time j will increment here, okay, and I will also start printing to increment order only. So let's see the example like how we can cover it. Okay, so let me go to the Eclipse. Okay, and this is our pattern 3. So let me copy this code and paste here. Okay, and this is the pattern 3. I will change the name. Okay, and this one is start with the 1, I less than equal to 5, pi plus plus, j equal to 1. But here we have to start and stop to the I only. Okay, that is fine, but instead of printing the star, we have to print I. Okay, so first time it will print 1, second time it will print 1 2, third time it will print 1 2 3, because based on the I value it will increment and condition will be true first time first, second time 2 times, third time 3 times, and it will print it. If you want next line, you can give this one and go ahead. Okay, if I run this code, let me change the pattern name method, and if I run this, you can see the output. What is it? 1 2 3 3 4 4 5 5. But we don't want like that. What we want 1 1 2. If you see here, what we want 1 1 2 1 2 3, like that. So what is our output? I have printed what here? I. So I is printing like that. So this is the first, which is row is I, but I don't want to print I have to print j. So sometimes people are confused regarding that, so you have to print the j always, so that you can get the correct result. Okay, same thing you can do. Let's go to the our coding platforms, which is Coding Ninja, and here we can solve this problem. So if you see here, this is the n triangles. We have problem statements. Sam is making a triangle painting for a math project, and an n-dimensional triangle is represented by the lower triangle of the pattern filled with the integers starting from 1 for the every value of the n, and Sam to print the corresponding n-dimensional triangle. And if you see, the input is n equal to 3, so you can get through the method here. And if you see what is the output, so output is 1 1 2 3 and 1 2 3. So you have to run up to 3 times only both the loop. Okay, in the same situations you can do like that. Okay, so I hope you have to see here we are giving some space, so make sure you have to maintain the space also. Okay, let's go here and write the code. What I'm going to do is, I can do one thing. I can copy the code and I will paste it also. That will also work. Okay, let me copy it, this line of the code, and if I go here and I will paste here. If you see here, so what is the n? So n is nothing but this 5, which is n, and this is not n here required, but make sure you have to give the space. So after printing any value, we have to give the space. One space we have to give. That's it only. Okay. So if you give the space, it will maintain it, and it will go with the j equal to 1, j less than equal to I, and j plus plus. Okay. And if you try to run it, let's check what is the output. All test cases are passed. You can submit it easily. Okay. So once you submit, I hope you understood this code, what we are writing here. Okay, let me explain you one more times. It's not required, but let me explain. Okay, if I explain you, might be you feel better. Okay, so let me go here, and for example, I'm going to put our code here. Okay, this is our code, right? What I have done inside the code, what I have done inside the code. Let me show you guys quickly. Okay, so if you see here properly, what we have done is we have a I equal to 1. So for example, I have equal to 1, right? And we have checked the conditions. So n equal to, for example, 5, and n equal to 5 we have. And if you check here, 1 less than 5, condition is true. Condition true is to go inside this. And what is the j equal to 1. So j is also 1, and j less than equal to I, condition is true. Why? Because we have put it here. Let me show you here, 1 less than equal to 1. So condition is true, right? So if it is true, what we have done, we have printed 1. Okay, right? We have printed j is what? 1. It's printed. We have given the space, but no use here. Let me go, and if you go the next, it will go to the next line. So we have our pointer is pointed here now. Now what will happen? It will go again, and it will check like j plus plus, but j is 2. So j is become 2, and 2 less than equal to 1, condition is false that time. If condition is false, it will go and it will give the next line, and after that it will go to upper loop and I plus plus. So I will increment to 2. Again it will come and it will check the condition, 2 less than 5, condition is true. And again it will check the condition is true. Then it will go the inner loop, again it will check, again it will initialize j with 1 and 1, and I is what? 2. So in this time it will check the condition. So first time it will true, because 1 less than 2 is true. Okay, so it will come here and it will print again 1. Okay, again if you go and j plus plus, so j will become 2. If it is become 2, what we are doing? We are printing it again, because condition is true here, j less than equal to I. So what is the j? So j is right now 2, and 2 less than 2 is also true, equal to true is true. So if it is true, it will print 2 times. If I is 3, so it will put here 3. So it will run 1, 2, 3. If it is I is 4, it will run 1, 2, 4. If it I is 5, then it will run 1, 2, 5 times. And like that it will print all those things. Okay, so this is the simple questions, and you have to understand. Thank you so much.